Well, today could have been a tragic day throughout the Midwest had the prediction of a major earthquake on the New Madrid Fault come true. New Mexico climatologist Ivan Browning predicted a major quake in the Midwest on this day, but so far nothing has happened.
The New Madrid Fault runs through many states, but it's centered in New Madrid, Missouri. And our Neil Moore is standing by live via satellite from New Madrid with the latest on how people there are coping. Hi, Neil.
Hi there, Liz. As you've indicated, this was the day that they thought there might be the best chance of a possibility of an earthquake. That simply hasn't happened. Lots of people still driving around the town trying to find out what's going on, and the waiting continues, but we felt no shaking at all. I can tell you, though, that while the waiting has gone on, people continue to have a good time. Take a look at this videotape. Earlier this morning, beginning at 6 o'clock, a radio station from St. Louis held a shake, rattle, and roll party at a local bar here called Hats. It started, as I said, at 6 o'clock this morning. It's been running on all day. And many, many reporters and satellite trucks here as well. They're from all across the Midwest and the South, and they have provided a bit of a curiosity for the locals here as well. And everybody is asking the same question here. Is it possible that a quake might happen? Well, opinions vary about that possibility.
I really am scared. I have had a few sleepless nights. I really am. I do believe we're going to have a big earthquake. I really believe it.
I don't believe we'll have a quake today, though. I would like to see a light tremor today, though. I'd like to see one myself.
In the future, when somebody mentions New Madrid, why, it would be synonymous with earthquake. So this is a negative, but we'll overcome it in due time.
That, of course, the mayor of New Madrid, and one of the key concerns that has been expressed here is just how people will think about New Madrid once this all happens, and secondarily, once the people leave here, all the reporters, what will happen, and quickly. The museum director here taking pictures of all the media. How come you're doing that?
Well, it's a historic event just having everybody here.
How many have you had so far?
A little over 200.
200 media people, and
right.
You've got them all on videotape,
right.
Video record, and I see you got a CBS hat out of the deal.
Yeah, I traded off for that.
Not a bad thing. Are we going to have a quake or not? What do you think?
I don't think so.
Okay.
One of these days.
All right. Thanks very much. Lynn Bach, one of the many here just waiting as we are, but still no shaking. Mike and Liz.
Okay, Neil, thanks very much. Neil Moore live in New Madrid, Missouri.
Well, if a major quake were to occur, we would have damage here in central Indiana, but the Indiana city that would probably be hit the hardest is Evansville.
And News 8's Jim Shella now is in Evansville with a live report on how people there spent the day. Jim?
Well, Mike, the question is, do people here take the earthquake threat seriously? Well, behind me, you see the Old National Bank, the tallest building in downtown Evansville. And on the top floor, there is a private club. There was scheduled a party there tonight, a $12,000 party. And it was canceled because the guests don't want to be 18 floors up. All over town, there are signs of the effects of Ivan Browning's prediction, but they are most noticeable in the schools. Students were allowed to stay home today, and many did. Absenteeism ranged from 20 to 50% at different schools, and all over town, people are talking about the earthquakes.
Are you surprised that so many people are taking it seriously?
I am. You know, I thought a lot of people would take it, you know, with a grain of salt and remember, you know, earthquakes are a big possibility in this area, but not really think about it happening today. So I'm a little surprised.
I think if we're going to be here, you know, we're going to be here, and I can't rearrange my schedule around something that may or may not occur. I'll probably be the one that gets hit by a car headed back to the office this afternoon instead of by the earthquake.
I had forgotten that it was supposed to be today until I arrived at school and the parking lot was pretty empty.
Now, Ivan Browning's theory has to do with the sun and gravity and the effect that has on the Earth's forces. But a lot of people here today are talking about the numerology theory. Now, if you look at your calendar, this is December 3rd. That's 1, 2, 3. So the theory says that the biggest risk of an earthquake is at 4:56 this afternoon. There. As the theory goes, the earthquake would be a 7.8 on the Richter scale, giving us the earthquake of 1990. Well, here it's Central Time, so it's an hour behind Indianapolis. We hope to be back in an hour to tell you that it didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. That begs the question, whose time are we talking about? Jim, if we can still hear us there on the satellite. There we are. One question for you. Are the people in Evansville more prepared? Are they more serious about earthquake preparations than we are, say, up the road here in Indianapolis?
They really are. We were up in what's called the Petroleum Club on the top of the Old National Bank today. And about a month ago, there was an earthquake here, and the people there talk about how the chandeliers rattled and you could feel the floor move. People here have felt earthquakes more and with more degree than people in Indianapolis have, and they take it much more seriously.
Okay, Jim Scheller reporting live via satellite from Evansville. Thank you.
Meanwhile, the seismographs at Indiana University have been all quiet today. Not even the slightest hint of earth movement in New Madrid. About once a month, the meters will register small tremors in that region. Tremors rarely felt by New Madrid residents, but nothing today. But one seismologist at IU says he hopes that people along the fault line don't become complacent if Browning's prediction doesn't come true on this day.
The danger from this fault zone is there because history tells us that this fault zone is being very active and it has the potential to generate large earthquakes. And that might cause a lot of damage and a lot of death.
Today, this sensitive equipment was picking up only the usual mining blasts from a number of limestone quarries around southern Indiana.
Well, here in central Indiana, there are some reports of children who stayed home from school because of the quake prediction, and even a few reports of workers who stayed away from the office. As News 8's Ken Owen tells us, for many people and businesses, all the quake talk provided a little diversion, but little else.
At a glance, it looks like a typical Monday on Monument Circle, but many of these people were well aware this was a special Monday. Only a few worried about the quake prediction.
Nah, not me. I mean, it's just, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, you know, so what? I'm more fun than serious. Yeah, no one's taking it real serious, I don't think.
For the most part, people at street level were taking things in stride. But what about those in loftier places? Namely those in Indiana's tallest building, the Bank One Tower. Karen Voigt is the receptionist in the top office of the building on the 48th floor. Her view of the city is expansive. Her view of safety, no problem.
They've built some things into the building so that we're pretty safe, so I'm not worried.
What was that?
What was what? You're trying to unnerve me?
Karen's boss was a little unnerved earlier in the day.
We have a cleaning system, and the only way this ever rocks is when the boom comes around and it sort of shakes the building a little bit. So it shook a little bit. Did you feel that? And I thought, oh well, just another cleaner.
We all know businesses are always looking for gimmicks, and you can't fault some for taking advantage of all the earthquake hysteria. This Southside car lot is having a pre-earthquake clearance sale. The owner says it's really shaken up business.
A lot of people think it's funny, and it's kind of a good joke.
This sandwich shop has a deal going. Its earthquake special is nothing less than a bologna sandwich.
We sold several of them. They love their earthquake special.
It's a bologna sandwich. Does that mean this prediction is bologna?
I don't think so. Just eat the bologna.
No cakes have fallen at this Indianapolis bakery, a good sign for all of us.
People have found their favorite hiding place already, though, and so far the coolers are all going to be filled with employees underneath the desks, and nobody's opted to go in the oven yet because it's 400 degrees, but they want to cool the oven off, and that may be filled also.
In less than 7 hours, we'll put the icing on December 3rd, 1990, a day when some worrying and a lot of joking helped many of us forget it's Monday. Ken Owen, Wish TV, News 8.
And of course, the day's not over yet. So.
Certainly.
Still coming.